But worse than the cold was the feeling it radiated. It was aggressive. It was pure, distilled anger. When I was 8 years old, my mother moved my siblings and me to Las Vegas, New Mexico. Not the glittering city you're thinking of, but a small high-desert town where the air is always cold and the mountains watch everything, where the Great Plains meet the mighty Rockies, a place with a long history beneath it. We were moving into my grandmother's home on the east side of Las Vegas. It was a small 3-bedroom house with a heavy air to it. Grandmother had the master room, and my uncle, a quiet man, was sealed away in the second. That left us for the third. My mother, my siblings, and I were all squeezed into the smallest room. The single bed was reserved for Mom and the 2 youngest. My sister and I, the oldest kids, were banished to the floor. On this particular night, I was lying closest to the closet. My feet were pointing toward the room's single door, and my head was inches from the north wall. I was 8, and had never given a thought to ghosts or anything paranormal. But what happened next didn't need a name to be terrifying. In the dead center of the night, something pulled me out of sleep. It wasn't a sound. It wasn't a bad dream. It was a feeling, a sudden, drastic change in the atmosphere. I knew I wasn't alone. I lay perfectly still, my eyes wide open. I looked up in the absolute dark. And I immediately felt it. A presence was right next to my right cheek. It was physical. A sudden, hyper-focused pocket of cold that felt unnatural, a bone-deep chill that cut through the already cold air of the room. But worse than the cold was the feeling it radiated. It was aggressive. It was pure, distilled anger. It felt like a raw, silent fury watching me. I was frozen, terrified, convinced that whatever this thing was, it was inches from my face and it hated me. Every instinct told me to scream, to roll away, but I was paralyzed by a fear so profound, it felt like my blood was ice. Then, everything changed. Just as the cold and the rage reached their peak, a voice opened up inside my head. It wasn't external. It was a thought, but it wasn't mine. It was clear. It was calm. It was absolute. The voice said, "It cannot hurt you. Go back to sleep." And with that command came a profound wave of warmth and assurance. It was instantaneous, wrapping around me like a shield. I was caught in a horrifying paradox, the raw, spitting malice inches from my face, countered by this vast, powerful presence of protection inside my mind. A spiritual tug of war that only lasted seconds. The warm certainly won. After a minute or two of lying there, processing the absolute terror and the sudden, perfect calm, I finally moved. I didn't dare look toward the closet. I simply turned my body away and fell back to sleep. I was 8 years old when I learned that, in the dark, you can feel 2 things at once: the chill of malice and the unwavering comfort of a protective whisper. The angry chill vanished that night, but the quiet voice, the one that brought that strange, perfect assurance, is still with me. It's dimmer now, a faint signal I rarely hear, but I know it's there. If this gave you chills, hit the like button.